Well, here we are, everybody. My name is Aaron. If you're new here, I help you try to love the music that you already like. Anyway, the I had this feeling this particular time. You know what? Now is the time for the dance practice, and I don't know why it specifically called to me when it came to fever. It's it's something that I usually do for most groups. If I'm being honest, we almost always have at least one or two dance practices. So why not start it off with a song that I think kind of sounds like it would be a good idea to do a dance practice. So by name alone, let's check it out. Okay. Back into formation dancing. Nice. Nice. I like that first big shape here. This is an interesting shift in their choreography. Nice. Lots of tippy tappies. Yeah, this is a very big shift. That was smooth. Classic move right there. Okay. Very interesting. First and foremost, I think there's a couple things that need to be pointed out when it comes to this particular choreography. First and foremost is actually I kind of just really like this particular shape that they make. The thing that I like about that is you get a really interesting shape, something that you don't generally see, And then I think the next part that is just kind of nice is it doesn't really overstay its welcome. In fact, it's almost so brief you almost kind of wanted to see more of it. And that could be a double-edged sword for sure. But I think the beautiful thing about that is this is just one of those moves that just kind of goes to show you where they're at. Very, very high quality, a lot of trust in each other. I think the other thing is too, this particular choreography to me marks a very big change in the maturity of them as performers. The thing that I find so interesting is when we were watching the older stuff, the older dancing, a lot of times they had to kind of always be moving, which to me was almost an indication from the very get-go that to me that means that they're probably using that to help stay on time. They're probably just sitting, well, not really sitting, but they were using it as a form of keeping themselves on track. And this whole time here, there was moments where they were walking around, they were, kind of jazzing up and, feeling very calm, very confident, and very much in charge. That's very cool. They have definitely gotten to the point now where they are comfortable, and it's nice to see. I think the other thing that needs to be said about this particular choreography as well, they stepped away from just only using arms and legs, and now they are using a lot of core. Their core is a lot more, I would say, probably the biggest contributor to this choreography. And it's like I always say, back when I was doing ballroom, the most important thing that you always needed was a strong core. And that was because in reality, it was your base. It was your foundation. Even though you'd be like, oh, I thought it'd be legs. No, foundation is all in the core. And this particular choreography really shows a lot of poise and a lot of discipline for the fact that they have been using so much of their core here. And it's a very effective way to do it. So those are some of the things that I think really stuck out to me. Lots of just discipline, core strength. We got some really awesome shapes and some interesting choreography as well. And a very mature and experienced feel. Very cool. Plus the song was actually pretty cool too. Very much it kind of feels like a summer vibe. Lots of sweeping motions, a lot of heat signature movements where kind of indicating that particular emotion of heat. Next, we are moving on to Flower. We have a comeback stage on this one, so very cool. They always do super well with these. Let's check it out. Moving forward. I do have to say it's a little bit interesting as we keep getting deeper and they start losing their like teenager features. It makes me a little bit sad because that means the ever impending doom that is time continually passing by in a cruel and unstopping march. Whoa! We're not in Toto anymore, Kansas. Very classy. Band chants are intense. Interesting. Classic. I'm starting to really dig this. Okay. To be continued. So this is kind of feels a bit like a bridging song, right? It kind of feels like it's covering up the gap a little bit in both of the genres, or eras, I should say, that they are in. It's kind of interesting to see how each of these are kind of handled, right? The other song was definitely a little bit more core and like movement and swaying, and has more, kind of like a fluid motion, where this is sharper, and I would say, maybe a little more angular. Kind of the same word, but it's more like a whip. Still a very complicated choreography. Very colorful. Like the stage, the presence, it's very colorful. I feel like that this is a good mix, because it feels like listening to their old music with like the synth pop and the strings, but like there's that feeling of just like they're not kids anymore, and I actually greatly appreciate that. That's cool. There's a little bit of flavor in there. This is definitely a little bit more on a higher energy stage. That's totally a hit from Tango. That is a Tango strike. Boom. My goodness. The amount of times. Wait, I am kind of curious. Pretty good technique. I love the fact that they kind of separate the song and have this particular section come back. There's something that I've wanted to say about this particular section, and now that we're here, we can talk about it. I find this to be really interesting, because it's a crescendo Labyrinth-esque in this particular part of the song. But the thing that I find really interesting is that the crescendo feels chaotic. Things start building, but like in an irregular way, and it just feels really cool. Start off simple, strings. Oh. I like that. And it's like almost like a return to the identity of where they came from. You know, it's like paying homage more than like actually them doing that style. And I thought that was really nice. I thought that was actually very cool. I actually really like this song. It definitely just kind of cuts back on a lot of the stuff. And yeah, runs clean, runs smooth. Okay, next we are moving on to Labyrinth. Now this I'm excited for. By name alone, this should register into a song that I like. So let's check it out, see if that's correct. Labyrinth. Whoa! Very high energy. Holy. Sharp, high energy, dramatic, attitude. Ooh. Very nice. Very nice. Ooh. Nice. That's pretty cool. Oh. This is sick. Woo. Wow, what a way to end. Oh, we're getting the ending fairies now. Okay. Wow. Big shift. Very dramatic. And, you know, one of the things that they really did to kind of increase that intensity is, especially like with the music, they would give it these like quick pauses, you know, staccato in the music, and it just really helps build that, because it just keeps building on the energy. The energy is there, you know, it's just like boom, 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 boom. It's continually, it's relentless, and I think it really ends up paying off for that reason. I love the intensity of it. This is just definitely not the cutesy girl group that we started with kind of feel. But it still has the same sound. Na, 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 na. Putting in those little pauses like that too is just like such a classic move for that. I noticed like a lot of the dance moves in this one are like very like forcibly pushing outward, like they're trying to break something or push something away, and it's really interesting because it kind of goes with that music, right? Dun dun da dun dun da. It really just like, you know, it's a very bold, and I feel like it's very applicable with the energy that they are bringing for the song. Dynamic, very dynamic. Another really big theme is just the change in the styling as well. The stylist just went full on the opposite direction. Cute, like high schoolers in their uniforms, to suddenly it's like leather and suits and all black. Not something that, you know, I think that was a good choice. Very cool song though. Wow, that's ranking up there. And of course, last but not least for the day, we are doing Time for the Moon. I actually chose the music video this time because if we're starting to get into the more, you know, witchy stuff, I guess. I'm excited for the witch era. I'm sorry. But if we're going to start seeing that, it kind of seems like this would probably be the song to have it. So I was like, maybe this will be the time that they start getting into that. So I wanted to see it. That's all. I like spooky stuff. I'm always going to like spooky stuff. Let's check it out. Whoa. Main track? I love that. Time for the moon tonight. No, I'm kidding. You know what? Now that I see this, I do remember doing this song, but I am I am lucky enough to be able to have such a terrible memory that, I didn't fully remember that song until we got to a certain spot that looked familiar. And also, too, I think another thing is, too, context matters with a group. Like, this is very different. When I first heard it, it was just the song. And now that we have, like, new formats and, like, grouping up a bunch of the songs together, and then making the journey that we have, where we're seeing all the music through, uh, all the music through to from beginning to where we're at now, it kind of puts things into a bit of a different perspective. It does kind of still have that mysterious vibe, right? Obviously, we know that, like, either they're a figment of our imagination. I always just assume ghosts because that's where I always go to because I like ghosts. That was always my take anyway. But I just love overall, though, that even though the song itself is rather melancholic in, terms of story and lyrics and kind of, presentation, I still like the fact that there is still a little bit of, like, that good hope, They're still giving you that a little bit of GFriend that you kind of want and hope for. But I actually really love how this song sounds. I love how they do it. And in fact, there's this breakdown. I think, let's see if I nailed it. Probably not, but I love how this sounds. That's cool. I love the fact that they keep the strains because right here, this is the spot. It just gives me just the shivers, the chills, them just like leading out into this and just giving you this nice section to let the song breathe. That's so cool. What an outro. Ugh. This might have to actually go on the list of, like, favorite songs. In reality, I'm not even joking. I actually really like this song a lot. This could be a favorite. I think it could be. We always do that report card at the end. I don't know how this doesn't make it in there, if I'm being real. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this. We'll discuss this down in the comments below. Thank you. Goodbye.